Welcome back to the podcast where we ask the question, what makes you happy? My name is Jake Pearson, and today we have with us one of the Siren Soapbox Podcasters who inspire people to explore outside their comfort zones through weekly challenges. Today we have Lauren Connolly from Loveland, Ohio, USA. Lauren, how are you?
I am fantastic.
Super excited to talk about all things that make you happy today. And even though it's different time zones all over the world, we're here. Could you start with this? What does make you happy, Lauren?
Well, I thought what used to make me happy was working in a corporate environment and climbing up the ladder and working really hard. And 2020 hit. And I think that changed a lot of things for a lot of people. And I really got a chance to reevaluate and realize how much time I was missing with my family and how happy being with my family makes me. So I was looking at pictures of my niece before I hopped on here and I had a huge smile on my face just thinking about her. So spending time with family, painting, I just learned how to do watercolors 2 years ago, and it's been so much fun. And being outside and exploring nature and seeing everything there is to explore.
I love that. And how often do you sort of engage in those activities that make you happy?
Well, for spending time with family, we are working from home now, and we're able to watch our niece and nephews a couple times a week. So that's been just fantastic, and it's exhausting, but it's better than any day I had in the corporate environment for sure. I try and paint every day, and I even go to sleep just thinking about watercolors. That's how I know it makes me happy. It's the first thing I think of when I wake up and the last thing I think of when I go to sleep. And then I try and be outside at least once a day. If I don't, then I can feel it and I'm not happy.
Yeah, okay. So it has a place in your life where you try to do them very regularly because you know that it makes you quite happy. And what does that look like when you don't do those?
When I don't get to do those things, I just kind of ruminate in the negative space and I feel down, I guess. I guess when those things aren't there, you go about your day and it just kind of meh. And then when they are there, it's just so energizing, and you can tell the difference.
Absolutely. It's like, for myself, when I don't do a podcast recording, or I don't go out and go to the gym or do a workout, if I don't have those things in my day, the day feels, like you said, bleh. There's no other way to describe it. Just doesn't feel like a day where my energy has just been low. So really resonate with what you've said there. I guess as a podcaster and as someone who loves nature and art, what advice would you give to someone who is struggling to find a little bit of their own happiness in their life?
There have been a couple times in my life where somebody has come up to me and they're like, man, I really wish that I could do what you do or have what you have. I'm a scuba diver and I've worked with really cool animals before, like penguins and sharks, or I wish I had the artistic ability that you have. And it's like, anybody can do these things. And if you want to do them too, and it's something that you think might make you happy, just try and figure out the small steps and break it down. And once you start getting that momentum going and you get outside your comfort zone and you finally make it to your goal, you'd realize how happy you are. And for bigger goals, it's keeping track of how far you've come. Really try and write it down and reflect on what you've done and hitting those milestones and celebrating them along the way. And then you can open your eyes about how hard you've worked and all the things that you've achieved, and then just be grateful for every step that you take and every lesson. Even if you have to take a step back towards your goal, it's a lesson along the way, and it does eventually move you forward to where you want to be.
Beautifully said. And I love the idea of just keeping track, because it's very easy for us to just think all these things up in our head. But if we can keep them in our phone notes or a goal board, or even just pen to paper, like I'm always writing things down so I can keep track. if you don't do those things, it's just kind of all up in the air. You feel a sense of overwhelm. There's no control. There's no action. So yeah, I really resonate with that piece of advice, Lauren. Thank you for sharing all things that make you happy. We really do appreciate that.
Well, thank you. And thank you for helping us spread the word. And it's really important what you're doing. It's important work.
No, you're doing very important work too. And if you'd love to connect with Lauren and go check out the podcast, you can do so by clicking the podcast episode description below. Lauren, we hope you have a fantastic, fantastic evening. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We hope it gives you something to think about on your quest to discover what makes you happy. Make sure to check out whatmakesyyouhappypodcast.com to connect with today's guest and follow us on all our social media platforms and to stay up to date at what's happening next at What Makes You Happy. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend, and we'll see you next time.